What's up, Wolverine Nation? Welcome to week 14 of Waiver. I'm Jake Camejo.
I'm Victor Torres.
And I'm Matthew Barturin.
Guys, last week, rough week for the guys here on the desk. Saints L and Dolphins L.
Nope. Wait, you guys lost? Oh, you did lose. Oh my God, I forgot about that. Wow.
Yeah, we
Tom
did
Brady.
lose.
Damn.
Mark Ingram,
Mark
you owe me
Ingram.
one. He
Nope.
ran out of bounds.
He owes you 1 yard. 1 yard forward.
1 yard
First down,
forward.
Saints to win the game.
Yeah, if we get that, we won the game. But hey, whatever.
He's sick, but he's sick though. You know what? So it's fine.
He's gonna go better. Whatever. Victor, we were both right in the Dolphins and 49ers game. Jeff Wilson had 0.3 points or something.
Yeah.
0.3 points, and then Debo had 12, which isn't amazing.
We lost to Mr. Irrelevant. I mean,
I didn't listen to Mr.
we lost to
We
Mr.
lost to Mr. Yeah.
But it was a win for the waiver wire guys on the desk for their picks. Not Victor, because he went 1 for 3. What'd you do? You went you went 1 for 3 as well, I think, man.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. I sat Mike Evans, started Trevor Lawrence, and picked up.
No, that's 2. Trevor Lawrence did good.
No, Trevor Lawrence did not do good. He got hurt and then off game.
And then JaMychal Hasty didn't play because Travis
Clearly
Etienne
did
ended
not
up
watch
playing.
So I think I'm not gonna give anyone the win this week because we all.
I think we all had a pretty rough week.
I mean, I went 2 for 3.
We'll go with a draw here.
I went 2 for 3, but
Gentlemen,
let's.
This is a gentleman's game.
It's a new week, and we're gonna get into our new picks. So guys, my pickups. This is short and easy. It's OBJ. Now I know that you guys don't like this pick. I know you guys don't like this pick because he's not on a team yet. But dude, it's OBJ. He's a generational type athlete at the wideout position, and I mean, whatever team gets him, either the Giants. If it's the Giants, he's the receiver one, the best player on that offense, and he's gonna get the ball force fed down his throat, which I love.
It'll be Saquon first, but
Saquon,
I get what you're going for.
And then passing, obviously, Brian Daboll's going to want to pass. But if he goes to Dallas, which Dallas said they don't know when they want to sign him.
I think it's pretty confirmed that he's going to Dallas. It's just like, when?
When? Yeah, exactly. And if this Dallas offense is clicking right now. CeeDee Lamb is going off. Another receiver who we talk about later on the show. It went off last week against the Colts, and the run game's going off. I think this offense is just firing on all cylinders right now. So whatever team lands him, I think he's a guy you should pick up.
He's right. Yeah, he's right. I think he might be a right away start once you get him. So
yeah, I mean, he has maybe that much impact on the first week.
Hopefully.
First week, hopefully. Who's gonna be a guy who gets a lot of impact on your team, Victor?
We're picking up. I feel like we've said this guy about 100 times on the show. I know Bo started it, and then somebody else picked him up. But I'm rocking with James Cook this week as my pickup because I think for the first time all year he got valuable touches. He got 14 carries for 64 yards, 6 catches for 41 yards. So he had over 100 yards against the Patriots defense, which is a really good defense. And I think it just kind of shows that the Bills dominated that really good Pats defense. So you put 2 and 2 together, this Bills offense is practically unstoppable. And if James Cook is going to be their lead back or their consistent, if he's consistently getting 20 touches, we saw it at Georgia. He was a super talented back when he got his touches. You bring that into this elite offense with an elite quarterback, elite coaching, they're going to do very good. Now the Jets are by no means are they an easy defense, so I wouldn't throw Cook into your lineup, but if you need a flex option or getting to this point of the year where there was a handful of players who got hurt this past weekend. So if you're in a situation where you got to start James Cook if you pick him up, it's a safe start, but I would definitely just keep him on your bench. He's a little sneaky guy for your playoff run,
Yeah, I agree with you there. That Bills offense, I mean, it's like what I said with OBJ. If he gets onto the Cowboys, it's just you can't stop him. Like it's hard to
cover this guy. Cover this guy. I'm throwing this guy. Cover that guy. I'm throwing the other guy.
Exactly.
And also the threat of the passing game in Buffalo opens up the run game. I think.
Yeah, they don't use that run that often, but
and he doesn't even need to be the bell cow kind of back.
Yeah.
He just needs to be as
efficient,
you said, Victor,
efficiency.
20 touches a game, which is
it's a lot for a back.
That's a lot for a rookie back in the first year in the NFL.
For sure.
100%. I love that pick, and he's a Miami guy. We got to root for him. I know we've said that.
Central Rockets. Who do they play in the playoffs? I know
they are playing American Heritage in the state championship in next week.
Rockets, you got this.
So
they definitely don't watch the show.
Guys, we got to root for the Miami guys, of course. But Matt, who's the guy you're picking up this week?
So I'm picking up Cam Akers.
How the turntables.
We've ragged on this guy a lot because he's had a really weird and unexpectedly, I don't know, unproductive season.
It's a roller coaster of a season.
Yeah.
Very much a roller
It's like the
coaster.
Rip Ride
He
Rocket.
looked like, even just before last week, he looked like he was losing all his carries to Kyron Williams, but now last week he surprised everyone, picked up 19 fantasy points, took over the backfield, and, I think with his performance last week and how productive he was, I think, if you could stash him a little bit to see how he does, and if, he keeps doing the way he did last week, then, might as well take your chances.
Might be worth your roster spot.
And hey,
Maybe.
I mean,
Maybe it
look,
will be.
Matt Stafford has been put on IR.
Yes,
Exactly.
that's
And now
another-
it's
yeah.
Bryce Perkins. Is it Bryce Perkins?
I think John Wolford might be back, but
Oh,
I think
yeah.
regardless, you got
Regardless.
They're gonna lean
Bryce
on
Perkins
the
or John
running backs
Wolford and-
because, I mean, the receivers are injured, the quarterbacks are injured. The only thing that isn't injured right now on this Rams offense is the running backs. And I mean, this last week's performance was the performance we've been waiting for Cam Akers for
For the whole
2
year.
years.
Wow,
not even
Yeah,
this season.
Last season too.
Not
yeah.
even this season. For his whole entire NFL career, we've been waiting for performance like this, and he finally brought it to us against a solid defense against
I mean, I think he's worthy now with that performance of
starting consideration. Like he's a considerable start.
Consideration.
He's
yeah.
no
But
longer
definitely,
in the
definitely
abysmal,
a pickup.
abysmal
the
range.
abysmal. He's fallen off the abysmal category, but he still gets.
But yeah, we'll just have to see how he progresses over the next couple weeks.
I mean, and Sean McVay. I mean,
I don't think we've ever talked about as bad of a player as we have Cam Akers that 1 week. And then-
week 1 was a rough week.
It's bad. That was bad.
rough week for Cam Akers fans. But Sean McVay, if you're on the offense, who knows what's going to happen that weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a tough situation to read, but I mean, if it works out, we're all going to be happy for him.
For sure.
Let's get into our starts, guys. Let's get into our starts.
Your start, Jake.
My start is a Cowboys receiver. Michael Gallup. It's Michael Gallup. It's Michael Gallup. So
Stupid.
I know the stat line last week against the Colts was 7 targets, which we love it. 7 targets, 2 catches.
Ooh.
But those 2 catches were for 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
But those 2 catches were also for 20 yards. So like, I
Volume.
mean, it's not volume because I think he's gonna go off this week, but this guy's an athlete. He's coming back up from the ACL tear. The Cowboys put their faith in him by signing him this offseason. I mean, I hope he, because last week a few weeks ago I picked him up, and he's kind of been inconsistent this past few weeks, but I think going into this matchup, I think this Cowboys offense is so good. I have CeeDee Lamb on my team. It's just,
Jake's a Cowboys lover today. We got possible OBJ on the Cowboys. We got Michael Gallup. I think it's a safe start. I mean, even when he was the wide receiver 3 there, he was putting up wide receiver 2, good flex option
I think
numbers.
he's a good complement option.
For sure.
With
He's that jump ball receiver.
and he's a deep down the field receiver too, and especially in the red zone. He always gets open and gets those red zone touches, which, I mean, we saw us last game against the Colts, 2 touchdowns. I mean,
And you said it, dude. 7 targets is 7 targets. Eventually, 7 targets becomes
gonna
5
becomes-
catches, 6 catches.
becomes 80 yards, a touchdown, or maybe 100 yards. So, I mean, with this guy's athletic ability, I mean, a lot of athletes are in the NFL, obviously, but this guy's a speedy, shifty guy.
Speaking of the Cowboys game, 54-19. That's I don't even know what that is. That was just bad. That was bad. Did any of you watch that?
I did watch it because I had Jonathan Taylor, and he didn't do bad. Jonathan Taylor's been going kind of slightly up again since Jeff Saturday came into held the reins of the offense.
Yes, Jake.
You like that one, guys? I hope you guys like that one. Guy, Vic,
Very funny.
who's the guy that you're trusting to hold the reins of their offense and get you the win this week in fantasy?
Mr. Consistency, Adam Thielen. So obviously he's kind
The
of in the
dentist.
shadow of Jefferson since Jefferson came in, but he's had a solid season. Now, these past couple weeks, he's had some rough games, excluding his 21-point performance versus the Patriots. But he plays Detroit, and we love Detroit here, but they are bad. They're just inconsistent as a defense. And the last time he played Detroit, 8 targets, 6 catches, 61 yards, a touchdown. And it's at 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock, Kirk Cousins.
1 o'clock, Kirk Cousins
might be the best
NFL
quarterback
in NFL history.
of all time. So I love Adam Thielen. I just think it's a safe start. He's a good flex option. And again, I said it. There's a lot of just players getting hurt. And for whatever reason, you might have Thielen on your bench. Not for whatever reason. He's had a couple bad weeks, so maybe you throw him on your bench. But I think this is a safe start. Detroit's defense is not that bad. 1 p.m. Kirk Cousins is the best quarterback to ever play football. I think it's a super safe start to put Thielen into your flex, your wide receiver 2. So, yeah, I'm starting Thielen, you know?
Yeah, I mean, this guy's a great route runner. He's a sure-handed receiver. He usually doesn't drop too many balls. And also, I mean, he kind of lives in the shadow of Justin Jefferson. You're right, but
He lives in the red zone. That's
he
where
does live in the red zone. That's what I was going to say.
true.
Last year, was it last year or 2 years ago? I think it was last year. This guy, like,
He led the league in red zone targets or touchdowns.
It was crazy. I mean, this Viking offense, outside the Dallas week, they've been about really good.
It's a
And
productive-
a
it's
team with that
productive
good
team.
of a record with the defense that they have.
And Kirk Cousins at one time is prime time.
Yeah.
They're gonna be busting out the chains on the plane ride back
Because
home.
like Jefferson's due for his big game every single week. I think last week might have been his worst week, and he still had like 18 points on fantasy. So Thielen is due for his big week finally.
Yeah, and also the Aaron led Lions defense is really bad. So
They've gotten better.
Can't have nothing in Detroit, man.
you can't have nothing in Detroit. That's right, Victor. But what can you have, Matthew? That's gonna help you win this week.
So I have Isaiah Pacheco. Talked about this
That's
guy
ironic.
on Thanksgiving. Yeah, because I
you
talked
picked
about
him up.
him on Thanksgiving. But as my pickup, but now he has reached my start. So I started him last week, had 16 points in my league, helped me get the win for once, and so in his last 2 games he's had 15 plus fantasy points, and he's getting a lot of volume. He's had a ton of carries, which is surprising considering Patrick Mahomes is his quarterback. So any running back in the Chiefs offense is not going to be the star of the offense, obviously, because you have Patrick Mahomes, you have Travis Kelce, but I think Pacheco has been very productive, and he's solidified himself as that lead back in Kansas City after so much uncertainty for years about who could be the running back that can play there next to Patrick Mahomes.
For sure. I've always liked. I'm not gonna lie. I like Pacheco though. I love the way he plays. He's got good vision. He's elite cuts. Like he fits this Kansas City offense. We talked about it when he was your pickup. He's got that shiftiness, that athleticism that is versatile because they can use him in the receiving game. And now that they finally have a guy that can run the ball, he's good. Like I genuinely like Pacheco. And I think my dislike for Clyde Edwards-Helaire is finally making sense because Isaiah Pacheco is taking taking over that backfield. You know what? I do hope Helaire gets better because I did just find out he was on IR. I didn't even know he was hurt.
Yeah.
But you know what? Pacheco is taking over that Kansas City backfield.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Victor and I were making fun of Matt before the show because Matt was gushing all over how Isaiah Pacheco, he loves the way he runs the football. And I mean,
All right,
it's
but
true. I'm going to agree with Matt.
It's a
It's
good
correct.
argument.
He looks
Thank
good
you.
with the ball in his hands, and I mean, this Chiefs offense is just unstoppable.
Yeah, I
at
mean,
this point.
defenses prepare for Patrick Mahomes, and then opens up the run game. That's it. That's how I see it.
A lot of
They also got that big boy Creed Humphrey in the middle.
I was about to
leading
say
the
that Creed Humphrey, the outstanding young center, has been like leading this offensive line, and I mean, hey, should be a good week for Isaiah Pacheco.
Who do they play? Do you know? You should know.
You should.
Oh,
know
Denver.
Okay,
Okay, Denver's a tough matchup, but he
But
also
hey, last time we
he
said
also
Denver
had,
was a-
he had
It's
his
a
best
cheat.
game. He had his best
a
game
cheat.
last week of the season against Cincinnati, who's
Very good
top
defense.
10 defense against the run. So
There we go, Matt.
Matt with the stats.
Beautiful execution.
Matt,
guys,
Matt
thanks,
got
guys.
himself back. Speaking of the Broncos, guys, sad to say, is Cortland Sutton. This is the guy I drafted top 4 or 5 rounds in the draft.
Ugly.
And everyone was with this guy about, 4 months ago, around this range. 4 months ago, everyone was saying, this guy is the next Cooper Kupp because of Russell Wilson. And
Far from it.
This Broncos offense has just been,
did not pan out.
he's been saying that Broncos country, let's ride. Broncos country, let's sit down and let's watch some film because you're obviously not putting good tape out on the field. I'm being serious. Like the week I started Cortland
All right,
Sutton,
this got violent.
the week I started Cortland Sutton, he drops duds and then
This is
he
getting
gets
emotional.
12, 13 points. I mean, look, Chiefs defense, not the greatest defense. I understand that, but they got some good corners and a few good safeties. I mean, that's Jerry. No, that's Cortland Sutton. I mean, I don't know what I can't start him. He's on my team in actual fantasy, and he was the reason why I started 1-7 at one point. When I benched him, I'm now 5-8. Hey, well, talk about an improvement, right?
Let's go.
Sick
Unlike
all of
the
a
Saints.
sudden, you're
Unlike
gonna
the
win
Saints.
this week, and I guarantee that. If it doesn't, you can speak to me, and I'll give you some M&Ms. I don't know.
Yeah, but Russell Wilson still has more bathrooms in his house than touchdowns.
So that's.
I think
That might be the craziest stat of the year.
I think that I hate to blame coaching, but I think
Coaching.
Yeah,
That's a big
Nathaniel
part of it.
Hackett's one of the worst
No, the
coaches.
coaching
I mean,
the
come on,
coaching's
like
bad, but
Russell Wilson.
He's
was
trying to make
so
Russell
good.
Wilson to Aaron Rodgers, and it's not working.
This ride
say the
has
least.
been canceled.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's take a seat, Broncos country, and let's watch the tape because your tape has been awful, and let's reevaluate what's going on in the next few years. But sit cool and sudden, I guarantee he's not going to do good. I'm not giving points because then they get 50 points if I say a certain amount. But sit cool and sudden. Thank you for my time, Victor. Who's your sit?
My sit is the Buccaneers backfield. I'm just gonna be very vague about that because we don't know if it's Fournette or Rashad White.
I love that, Victor.
Do you mind? Because we don't know if it's gonna be Fournette or Rashad White. Rashad White is the receiving guy. He's taking a lot of the carries, but
Scored the game-winning touchdown against my Saints.
that too. But Fournette is also still the bona fide veteran back that he's a tank. And, I mean, I think he's lost a step, obviously, but he's still a tank and he's still a very good running back. So, but I just don't think it's that amazing of a start. It's a start either of them unless you need to start them. The Bucs offense is pretty suspect, and until the fourth quarter where they need Tom Brady to call the offense to score a touchdown to win the game against somebody's favorite team, they've been really bad. It's just not a totally great offense. The 49ers defense is ridiculous. That front seven dominated on my Dolphins.
And my Saints.
And your Saints. I don't think that the Bucs O-line is
Good enough without Tristan.
is favorable to
Without
both
Tristan.
sides.
And Jensen too.
They're missing all their guys pretty much. They're
Yeah, he's been
bona
out all
fide
year.
starters.
Tristan Wirth.
Yeah, they were
Bad
showing
injury,
yesterday.
bad.
They were
That
showing
was
an
bad.
injury. They were showing an injury report or like what happened to their offensive line from last year, which was so good. And all of them are gone.
That's pretty much all bad.
All of them are
Yeah.
now playing right now.
So I think
I love a good old Buck sit though.
in a situation where they have to, their running game isn't even good to begin with. They have to fall back on the pass a lot more, which would, in theory, will allow Rashad White to be decent. But I think they're going to be targeting Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, who's had a couple good weeks back to back.
Chris Godwin's been going
Godwin.
off.
Did Mike Evans have a good
Mike
night?
Evans had 9 points.
Okay.
It's good.
That's
sit.
probably his best performance against the Saints in his NFL career.
You'd say sit him, right? Sit him.
Matt said sit him, and he underperformed.
But
That's
yeah, regardless, that Bucs backfield is unsafe this week. But you know what else is unsafe? Whoever Matt is sitting. But we'll get to that.
I don't know. Guys, so this is a guy we all say. This is a guy who
Let
we
me
all
say
say
it.
sit.
Let me say it.
But
It's my
he's-
turn.
But he blows up
my
every
turn.
single
It's my
time. So
turn.
it's
This is Matt's
Matt's turn to get embarrassed.
I am
Who's your
sitting
He's getting shunned.
Amari Cooper.
No one.
All right.
Not even looking at him.
Amari Cooper is my sit, and I'll tell you why.
You're falling into it.
Yep.
falling
It
into
might
the
be a
trap.
trap, but you know what? I might be the only one that's right. Who knows?
No, you're not gonna be
Cincinnati.
right. Sorry.
Cincinnati is a top 5 defense against receivers in fantasy, and also Deshaun Watson played terrible last week,
bad.
and Amari Cooper had 8 points. So, contrary to what we've seen the rest of the season with Jacoby Brissett under center, now Deshaun Watson's under center, and he played horribly. So
Yeah,
I
that was
don't
bad.
think,
That interception was
especially
terrible.
early on, like if Deshaun Watson does get better, maybe later on because new quarterback, obviously new play calling, whatever.
Yeah.
So especially early on, I think it's pretty unsafe to have with the matchup and Deshaun Watson. I think it's
Yeah,
unsafe.
Amari Cooper's
mean,
got a 40
now
point, Amari
I-
Cooper's got a 40-point game incoming. by the way,
Incoming
so-
guys. I would start him right away if you have Amari Cooper. But here, hold on, before I keep going around that, against the Bengals in week, I don't know, on Halloween it was on Halloween, 5 catches, 131 yards,
You know
and a
what?
touchdown.
You know what,
He
guys?
was our sit that week.
That was my sit that week, and you know what? He
You know what, guys?
broke my heart.
I think Deshaun Watson is horrible. Like honestly, like
He's gotta
I'm
get
not
back
a
into
fan.
it.
Deshaun
He's been
Watson
gone for
watches
2
the show,
years.
dude.
Honestly, like I'm just, I don't know. I just don't feel confident. Honestly.
No, I think it's. I mean, in all
I
honesty,
kind of-
it's
I would
it's
agree.
it's not a. It's a good sit. Like it's just the running gag at this point. We've all had Amari Cooper. It's our sit.
Yeah.
And we've all been proven.
But you
very
know
right.
what? It's time.
It's
for
time we get
someone-
an Amari Cooper
It's
win.
time for someone to be right, and that time is coming now. So
I mean, hope so, guys.
Hopefully.
Guys.
I
Amari
don't want
Cooper
to jinx
definitely
it.
watches this.
I mean, maybe he gets his inspiration from it every
Yeah,
time we
then
say
maybe
he
that's
gets
why.
bad.
Maybe that's why he plays well.
Every time we do something bad, talk bad about him, he's gonna go off and prove us wrong. But guys, last thoughts before we end the show.
We've got a Dolphins Sunday night matchup this week, and that's what we're excited for.
Herbert versus Tua.
Let's see it for real this time because
Who's
last
the
time
better
it was
quarterback?
apparently a fluke. Last time it was a fluke win because we had a super good defense.
And
You
now
know what?
he
Tua's never gonna
sucks.
win, guys. Tua's never gonna win. You know, people are always gonna hate on him, but he's getting the job done.
I thought he was talking about like games. I was like, what?
What? No, we have 8 wins.
I know. I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, but yeah, hopefully Dolphins win against the Chargers.
You know what?
Even though I have Herbert, so I hope it's a shootout. I hope it's a shootout.
I wish the best of luck
More
for the
fantasy
Saints.
points. I need to win this week in fantasy. Don't want to get last. I want that guy. That
You
guy.
got a
Actually,
punishment.
That guy right there to
My
get the
team
punishment.
dropped 153 last week. Come on.
We still lost.
Pat
Come
him
on,
back.
you're still in last place though. So hopefully
Won by
Saints win. No,
60
Saints on a bye.
points.
So no Saints lost this week at least.
Let's go.
I mean,
Go, Jake.
Let's end the show on a high note there. I think we should end it there. You know, I hate ending the show, guys, but it just
All good things must come to
all
an
good
end.
things must come to an end. Exactly, Victor. You read my mind.
So smart.
You know, Wolverine Nation, it was a pleasure this week being with you, and I hope you enjoyed it. This is week 14 of Waiver Wire. I'm Jake Camejo.
I'm Victor Torres.
And I'm Matthew Barturin.
We appreciate you watching.